Taurus, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. I hope that you're doing well. We are in Gemini season. Life is picking up. We're seeing a little bit more momentum, a little more activity in the astrology, and it feels good. You know, we're started off the week with a full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarian energy is fire energy. It helps us grow, expand beyond our limitations. And it has been this message, this theme of really tempering our forces, knowing what we want, knowing what we're going after, but making sure that we're not losing sight of that in the process, especially around those things, people, situations that pop up to either derail us or create some tension, resistance, etc. We have to make sure that we're not like buying into the illusion or buying into kind of like the BS, and not reacting as well as a huge component of this. We have a really fortunate transit coming up June 9th. It is Venus and Jupiter in conjunction, so that really helps us draw in more abundance. It helps us beautify, amplify our wealth, our abundance in life, making things just feel a little bit more luxurious and abundant, right? Sorry to be redundant, but it just has this really nice energy around it. And I feel like the full moon in Sagittarius is the beginning of that. It's like kicking us off into certain directions. Even though we might not see certain things manifesting in this given moment in time, they are coming. And we've been getting some confirmations all across the board in our readings, the dailies, the weeklies, etc., throughout the zodiac signs, every which way. So it feels promising. It feels hopeful. I like to start off the readings with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good opportunity to set your own intention for the reading as well. And you can also skip ahead if it's not your vibe. You'll still receive the blessing, obviously. Always good vibes over here. But if you would like to set an intention, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around, definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It really is a good way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are interested in more of that rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are aligned in self, that is really when we tap into our power, our abundance, our happiness, fulfillment, and I would totally love to help support that for you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, excuse me, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Taurus, I feel like you're getting sidetracked from something this week. Something that you want to do, something that you want to accomplish, something that I feel like you have intention, regardless of how long you delay, but you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make something happen. It feels very proactive. And as I'm saying this, the Master Manifestor comes out. We're constantly manifesting, right? We forget that. It's kind of a not so fun pill to swallow, because then it makes us understand the reality that we can also be manifesting the things that are not so great for us. But it's true. Where our attention goes, manifestation follows. Okay, I swear to God, I did just shuffle a lot, didn't I? And that popped out again. I probably should have taken it, but just for my own sanity, double confirmation. So you have a goal in mind. You have a goal in mind. I think I don't know, maybe you're a little afraid about something. maybe you're having a hard time putting voice to something that you need to say. Oh my gosh. I should just stop the reading now. Okay, you saw me shuffle. All right, so Spirit wants to know. It's important for you to manifest this thing this week. Here's the thing. I feel like it's a good thing. I am picking up some vibes of procrastination. Like either you're getting distracted or other things pop up and it's like, okay, I'm going to just focus on this or do this and then I'll get back to that other thing. And it might be because, here's the thing, like as I'm saying this, I'm also seeing like there are certain stages that you're working through, which makes a lot of sense. Life has natural order. So I feel like you've had to overcome, or you are overcoming certain things in order to kind of get to your final destination. Like it's not just like you can go from A to C, you actually, or A to D, you have to go A, B, C, D. Sorry, bad analogy. But it looked like what I'm kind of trying to get to is it looks like you're working out certain situations that feel like they're in the way. You're getting them out of the way. You're having these little moments of victory, feeling proud of yourself, of what you're doing, the accomplishments that you're making. And I think it's paying off, Taurus. Like it's like things are showing up for you, that it's Spirit confirming like, yes, continue to do that. The thumbs up, the double thumbs up. But again, we did actually get this in our weekly reading. Get out of our head. Get out of your head. Sometimes we spend too much time in overanalyzation. Again, the places that I feel like you might be limiting yourself or slowing things down, slowing down progression. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. I think things happen when they're supposed to. But why I'm saying that specifically is because it looks like your energy is very much ready for something. Like you've worked at it, you've practiced at it, you're ready to go. And nothing else that you can do at this point is going to make it better or worse. It's kind of like you've done everything that you need to do. But then there is a part of you that's afraid. And I think this is coming through with some of this nourish the shadow and your blocked energy. I'm hearing there might be some fear of rejection, being afraid of like how something is going to receive from you, whether it will be received, whether it's even like worth your time and energy. You might be questioning yourself. That makes a lot of sense with the 9 of Wands in your environment. Something is on the defensive, and you know that, you can feel that. You're still showing up in a way where you're like, I'm willing to work with you. You might have even gotten in a fight with this individual and ended up winning, like coming out on top. Not that that's what fights are about, but I like when I'm saying that, it's like you got your point across, and I think someone did kind of bend to your will. I don't necessarily pick up the vibe that you were trying to strong arm someone, but I think there were certain things that were playing out that you called out, that you were like, wait a second, this is not okay, or I'm not down for this, or whatever. And they might have had a hard time with it at first, and maybe even still are in that energy of a little like resistance and like annoyance against Taurus. But it's not keeping you down. You're still like, okay, I'm gonna still work at this, even if it's not like I see you getting apologies from someone, but it still feels like it's still awkward, right? It's like when something big happens and then everyone's feeling a little uncomfortable about what got said and who did what and blah, blah, blah. And maybe there might be some peace at this point, but it's also like, okay, well, what's the next step, or how do we move from here? It doesn't feel like it's a very balanced situation either. I'm not going to lie. Especially if you had to lay down the law with someone. I think they're acclimating. I see them accommodating you, but at the same time, this doesn't surprise me. 9 of Pentacles is popping out. They might be accommodating you in this moment in time. I don't know how long that's going to last. I'm not sure that you see this. I don't know that you want to see this. I think that you're giving someone the benefit of the doubt, but you're also like reserving your energy. 6 of Pentacles is in the blocked. So this feels like, as much as something has been kind of worked through, not really. There's still things that either need to be talked about or agreements that need to be made that's going to help better the situation as a whole. And to whatever capacity, you do look like you are investing in this. I don't necessarily see the same investment coming back your way. It doesn't really look like it's like making you think or feel any sort of thing. Okay. Let's look at what this burden is for you. 10 of Cups, happiness, fulfillment, feeling really stressed out about like what you want something to look like, what you had kind of envisioned for someone, something. Seeing that you're actually not getting the results that you thought you were going to get. Like, it looks to me, Taurus, like you are investing in someone with hopes that it's going to turn around. And it doesn't really look like that. Or I'm not seeing that for this week, the next period of time, however you want to take it. It just looks like you acclimating to someone is working out better for them than them wanting to acclimate to you. And if anything, it kind of looks like they might be, like I said, they might be giving you something initially that's making you think, okay, like now we're actually working together. But it doesn't really translate as that as time moves on. If anything, like I feel like they have a different perception of you now. So it's like whatever fight you got in or whatever words were exchanged, they might be holding that against you. I'm seeing you're seeing a new side to someone that, I don't know. I don't think it's fully transparent to you quite yet who and what this is, like what this actually is. But it looks like it's being revealed to you the more time goes on. And it's exactly because of how something is responding to you. You know, I think you're trying to have certain boundaries, but also be flexible, like be kind. Maybe you're even trying to connect with someone in a way that you used to connect with them. And it just feels like it's getting you nowhere for whatever reason. Like you're probably dealing with someone who's lying is what I want to say. And I don't mean that to fearmonger, but what I'm seeing is like someone appeasing you and then not really following through with that. And that's what this is all contingent upon. If they apologize and then don't actually like live up to what they're saying, well, that's your indicator right there. And that's exactly what you're seeing. There's some challenges that are starting to come into play in a situation. And you might have won something and are thinking that like, okay, now we're back on a good foot and it's going to move in this direction and everyone's going to be happy, fine, well, and good. And then it doesn't really feel like that's how it ends up moving. If anything, they might be saying or doing things that is putting you in a fear state. Maybe even fear-mongering you a little bit, like baiting you or trying to get you to be afraid about something that like maybe you don't have to be afraid about. It looks like they keep procrastinating. There's a big procrastination energy. And for whatever reason, that feels counterintuitive to either what you guys have talked about or what you thought was going to happen. It ends up creating more stress. I think that it adds another layer. Like, I think this is something that you aren't really seeing. And it's evolving into this and it just keeps becoming more and more clear. And I think you're kind of like, it's an oh shit moment. Sorry, Taurus, but it definitely feels like that. It's that moment where you're like, I trusted in someone and this really wasn't what it was at all. And that's kind of hard, right? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I hope it's not too blunt or that's not my heart, you know? And if it doesn't resonate, don't even pick it up. With this nourish the shadow in the blocked energy, this is really spirit asking you like why you need someone or something to approve of you. What did they have? What was it about the dynamic that like made you either turn a blind eye? I think you believed in something, but it feels like it was never really a reality. It was very superficial. Glass house or a house built on sand is what it feels like. It might have looked really big and beautiful on the outside, but once you actually got into it, and I think you actually had an experience with this that showed exactly what it was to you. And again, it looks like you came out on top in that experience, but then all of a sudden things are kind of going back and you're like, wait a second, I thought we already worked through this, or you're just coming into some type of obstacle blocked, like you're meeting someone's having bad behavior is what I'm hearing. With this, especially with this Pisces energy, it's when emotions start getting the best of us. We can be very fanciful with Pisces energy. The tagline in this deck is I believe. So sometimes we can force ourselves to believe in something that just like might not exist. Because I don't really know that there was ever balance and in this dynamic. And maybe that's something that you just weren't paying attention to. Sometimes like it feels maybe a little bit like a trauma bond. I'm sorry, Taurus, but again, don't pick it up if it's not yours. But it feels like you bonded with someone out of difficulty. Maybe it was more the ups and downs, the roller coaster. You're used to all the drama, all the chaos. And now that things have settled down, it looks a little bit different. And like I said, it doesn't look like whatever you're dealing with is necessarily playing nice. If anything, it kind of feels like they're a little bit more on the defensive. And I'm going to sit here and listen to what Taurus has to say, but whether or not I'm going to actually do it, that's like another thing. Something who wants the control. We've been getting this waning gibbous like so much. It's been popping out, I think, for like every zodiac so far. It is the releasing. It's the letting go in the moon phase. It's right after we receive our manifestations. And then we're starting to say, okay, like certain things are not working and I need to get it out of my energy. To find more peace, to find more balance, to not be so wound up in things that just like aren't really delivering you to where you need to go. Yeah, there's a lot of just like fading energy. That's what it looks like. And I think, honestly, it's like the more that you, and it makes a lot of sense with this Master Manifestor. It's like the more that you engage with this energy, the easier it is going to be to see whether they are just being really emotional or like certain things that are happening that are just like very out of alignment with what they said originally. And I feel like it is coming because you're asking for certain things from Spirit, this Master Manifestor. And anytime we ask for what we want, it starts taking away the things that are not catering towards that. And so it looks like as much as you might think something's kind of okay in the present moment, again, not to fearmonger, this is already something that has like a rocky past, a messy past. And I think that's kind of manifesting again. But you're stronger. That's what I'll say. Like, you're stronger on this end of things. I don't think this is going to scare you or it's going to completely come out of left field. It's more this, like, I wish it was better versus, like, I didn't expect that to happen. You know, yes, maybe you took someone at their word, but they also aren't delivering. And it's also hard for you to, like, understand why. You know, like, it's not anything new is what I want to say. And if anything, the attachment to wanting it be a certain thing when it's just not, that's the part that needs to be looked at a little bit more. So you're not hurting yourself, right? Unmet expectations, we essentially hurt ourselves. And oftentimes it's because we're not giving ourselves the awareness on who and what something is. When we don't have awareness, we're living under illusion, right? We're living under a false sense of reality. And people do use that, take advantage of that, etc. But it looks like you're working out of this, even if it's not all intentional, even if some of it's like that gentle nudge from Spirit, you're still allowing this to happen. You know, I don't see you being super resistant. I just see you trying to put in a good effort and someone just like can't really meet you where you're at. So I hope this helps, Taurus. Sorry it was a little heavy, a little bleak. Never, please know all my messages come from a good space just to help you grow, help you evolve, help you be the best version of yourself. I do hope you enjoyed the reading or at least found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Know that it blesses my heart and I'm sending love and blessings back to you.